I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's good, my homies? Hope you're doing well, feeling blessed, having a good day, having a good week. Guys, we've got a massive UFC card. The rematch between Merab and O'Malley. This is a massive UFC card. Now, guys, last weekend, my predictions, they were actually very good. They were very decent, but my bets not so much. I needed Maycee Barber to fight Erin Blanchfield in the main event. I needed Blanchfield to win to make some profit. And I was so disappointed that main event didn't happen. The main event promo ran. The promo ran, then nothing happened. And I was like, no, man, not like this. Not like this. Don't end the card like this. But unfortunately, the card did end like that. And it's like, come on, man. Erin Blanchfield, she's ready to dust up Maycee Barber. We've never seen a fight cancelled after a promo ran. We've never seen that. And we're never going to see that happen again. Such a weird, crazy situation. Alright guys, let's make some predictions, let's do some breakdowns, and we're going to make some money on this card. I'm going to stick to the money lines. No over-unders. No over-unders, man, because they're just luck. It's pure luck on the over-under. Let's make some predictions, let's go. First matchup on the card, we've got MarQuel Mederos taking on Mark Choinski, and my first prediction on this card has to be MarQuel Mederos. I think he's going to win over 15 minutes. I think he wins on the judges' scorecards. And this fight's going to be striker versus grappler. Mederos being the striker and Choinski being the grappler. The only way that Mark Choinski is going to win in this fight is by getting those takedowns, by bringing MarQuel Mederos into that grappling wrestling contest, bringing Mederos to the canvas. Because if this matchup stays on the feet, his striking's not good enough for someone like MarQuel Mederos, who's super light on the feet. Look at the footwork of MarQuel Mederos. It's always been really good. He's so light on his feet. So if Mark Choinski finds himself in that striking contest, he's going to get lit up. He's going to be confused by the constant footwork, the lightness of MarQuel Mederos. Now, he was wrestled by Austin Hubbard, MarQuel Mederos that is. He was wrestled over in Mexico. So there's slight concerns that Mark Choinski can do something similar by getting those takedowns and bringing Mederos to the canvas. But in my opinion, the experience is all with MarQuel Mederos and that light footwork. You know, he's so tricky on the feet, and I think he does win this fight. So my first prediction has to be MarQuel Mederos. Next matchup on the card, we've got Quillan Salkilld taking on Yanal Ashmouz, and my second prediction on this card has to be Quillan Salkilld to win this fight. Salkilld got a beautiful KO TKO instantly in his UFC debut, and shout out to Angel Jubilee for visiting the King of Shadow City, Ben Askren. But guys, let's be real, Salkilld in his UFC debut, he was never in a fight. He was never in a fight. The ref did say fight though, and then Salkilld lands one punch, and the fight that was never a fight is just over. Now, I doubt he's going to do the same thing against Yanal Ashmouz. I think Salkild's going to be tested way more in this fight. But I think Salkilld, man, he's got nice kicks, nice switch kicks, nice teep kicks, excellent hooks upstairs and to the body. He's a wrestler, he's a grappler, he's got so much potential. And as for Ashmouz, he's at a height and reach disadvantage. And the only way I can really see him winning this fight is constantly getting takedowns against Salkilld, constantly bringing him to the canvas, or doing something similar to what he done against Sam Patterson. Close the distance as quickly as possible and surprise Salkilld with a flash knockdown, then get the ground and pound stoppage. But what I think is going to happen in this fight is Salkilld, he's going to land the kicks. He's going to rip to the body. He's going to work in the clinch, against the fence, on the canvas. He's going to show his full potential over 15 minutes. And I think he wins this fight. So my prediction has to be Quillan Salkilld. Next matchup, we've got Jeka Saragih taking on Joe Sang Yo, which is a pretty dope name. Now my next prediction has to be Joe Sang Yo to win this fight inside the distance. I was really impressed watching the tape on Joe Sang Yo. The hands down style. His boxing is so fast. He's got some tricky setups. A couple setups actually similar to Sean O'Malley. So maybe that's why he's got put on this card. He's a big puncher, but he's also very technical. The footwork is good. The reactions are good. And like I say, I was so impressed watching the tape on Joe Sang Yo. As for Jeka Saragih, he's a Muay Thai striker that doesn't really have the wrestling or grappling. And I kind of feel the best way to fight against Joe Sang Yo would be to clinch against the fence or wrestle him to the canvas. Now, Jeka Saragih, like I say, he doesn't have the wrestling or the grappling, so he can't do that. And if anyone gets a takedown in this fight, it's actually going to be Jo Sang Yo. So it could be a submission win. And I think there's going to be multiple ways for Jo Sang Yo to win in this fight. He could get a KO TKO. He could get a ground and pound stoppage. He could get a submission. He could win with the judges. I think he's going to dominate this fight. I'm very impressed with Jo Sang Yo. So my prediction has to be Jo Sang Yo inside the distance. I think he's going to dust up Jeka Saragih, either round 1 or round 2. That's the pick. Next matchup, we've got Ariane Lipski taking on Wang Tong. And my next prediction has to be Ariane Lipski to get dusted. I think Wang Tong, man, she's just much better than Ariane Lipski. Ariane Lipski, as a mixed martial artist, she's now 17 wins and 10 losses. That's a pretty bad record. In the UFC, she's 6-7. That's a bad record. Now, she did get a nice win streak against Melissa Gatto, Casey O'Neill, JJ Aldrich. That was a nice win streak, but I just can't see her winning against Wang Tong. And I know Wang Tong, you know, she lost against Gabby Fernandez, and Gabby Fernandez was a massive underdog. But Gabby Fernandez, man, her boxing's good. Her boxing's very decent. Whereas Ariane Lipski, I just don't feel the violence. I really don't. I understand her name is Queen of Violence. That's her octagon name, but I see Wang Tong with the power, the speed, the confidence. And I think she wins this fight no matter how it is. It can be high-paced. Wang Tong wins. It can be slow-paced. Wang Tong wins. It can be like both. It can be fast and slow. I think Wang Tong wins. It can be aggressive. It can be slow-paced. It doesn't matter how the fight is. I just see Wang Tong winning every single time. Or maybe not every single time, but a lot of the time, I see Wang Tong winning. You know, the power, the speed, the confidence, the combinations. I see Wang Tong winning this fight. That's the pick. Next matchup, we've got Andreas Gustafsson taking on Khaos Williams. And my first underdog prediction on this card is right here. I'm going to pick Andreas Gustafsson to win this fight as the underdog. Now, Khaos Williams, he's taking this fight on very short notice, and he's still a favourite on the betting line. That's interesting. But here's the thing though, if Andreas Gustafsson survives round 1, more than likely, Khaos Williams gets tired. He starts to slow down. He starts to get pushed against the fence, starts to get wrestled. He starts to fade past round 1. But can Andreas Gustafsson survive round 1? Because Khaos Williams, man, he's got insane power. This dude sends opponents to Shadow City. This dude will hook you up to the Shadow City server. We've seen it time and time again. So can Gustafsson survive that early storm in round 1? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, he does. But I'm interested to see, can Gustafsson survive round 1? You know, it's interesting. My prediction has to be, though, Andreas Gustafsson to win inside the distance. My first underdog pick on this card. And like I say, even though Khaos Williams takes the fight on 1 week notice, he's still a favourite. That's interesting. Next matchup, we've got Serghei Spivak taking on Waldo Cortes-Acosta. And my second underdog pick on this card has to be the Salsa Boy. I'm picking Waldo Cortes-Acosta. But I'll be honest, guys, this fight is very 50-50. If Waldo Cortes-Acosta stays on the feet, if he stays kickboxing, he should win this fight. And by the way, Acosta to win on points is plus 600. That's diabolical. And if Acosta stays on the feet, he's much faster than Spivak. He's got the footwork, he's got the agility, he's got the speed in the boxing, the ability to just move out the way of the opponent's punches, his defensive ability because of his agility. However, if Spivak gets a takedown, if Spivak brings the opponent to the canvas, then more than likely, Spivak can get the fight done on the ground, potentially via submission. His ground and pound is ferocious. He's a polar bear on the ground. And if he gets Acosta to the ground, like I say, the fight's done. So it's either going to be Acosta staying on the feet, using that boxing speed, using the footwork, doing that salsa right on the feet, or it's going to be Spivak. He brings him to the ground and it's game over. I'm going to side with Waldo Cortes-Acosta. I'm going to side with the salsa in this fight. Next matchup, we've got Azamat Murzakanov taking on Brenton Ribeiro. And my next prediction has to be Azamat Murzakanov via complete dusteration. I think Azamat Murzakanov completely destroys Ribeiro. Now, shout out to Ribeiro for getting a nice underdog win in his last fight. Shout out to Ribeiro for clearly improving as a mixed martial artist. But in my opinion, this is clearly a step too far for Brenton Ribeiro. Azamat Murzakanov is just too sharp. His understanding of range, his technical boxing ability, he's just too sharp for Brenton Ribeiro. I think Brenton Ribeiro in this fight, he's going to be explosive. He's going to land low kicks. He's going to look for takedowns. He's going to try to win in this fight any way he can. But I just think the Russian, Azamat Murzakanov, he's too sharp. He's too clean. And I think he's going to destroy Brenton Ribeiro. So my prediction has to be Azamat Murzakanov via KO TKO. Next matchup, we've got Bruno Silva taking on Josh Fan. One of my favourite fighters is Josh Fan. Can we just acknowledge how good of a boxer Josh Fan really is? Can we also acknowledge his takedown defense in his last fight? Because Josh Fan, man, he's just improving. He's already good, but he's just improving. Now, Josh Fan, in my opinion, he's too good for old man Bruno Silva. Guys, in my opinion, what makes Josh Fan so special is he gets better as the fight progresses. He gets better past round 1, past round 2, even better. He gets better as the fight goes on. You know, round 1's not a great round for Josh Fan. But then you see in round 2, you're seeing Josh Fan start to really find his timing. You're seeing Josh Fan start to find the body of his opponent, the boxing of Josh Fan. It just gets better and better as the fight progresses. He goes through the gears. You know what I'm saying? It's like driving. You go through the gears. Whereas Bruno Silva, he's going to downshift. He's going to do everything he can to find that KO TKO in round 1. If he doesn't get a stoppage in round 1, he's going to get tired. He's going to get fatigued. And the only way I can see Josh Fan losing against Bruno Silva is a Hail Mary knockout. You know, a big knockout in round 1, a big knockout in round 2. I think if you're Bruno Silva, you've got to find that KO TKO. You've got to shut the lights off on Josh Fan. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's more likely that Josh Fan, he's the one that's finding a stoppage. And like I say, old man Bruno Silva, he shouldn't be winning against Josh Fan. Not this version of Josh Fan. He's just getting better and better as his fight career goes on. So yeah, man, Josh Fan should win this fight. One of my favourite fighters. The body work, the progression as the fight progresses. The prediction has to be the homie Josh Fan. Next matchup, we've got Kevin Holland taking on Vicente Luque. Hey, the homie Kevin Holland, man. Guys, last time Kevin Holland fought, I didn't call him the homie. And there was people in my comment section like, Lay, why didn't you call Kevin Holland the homie? Why you didn't call Kev the homie? My bad about that, my bad. Listen, for all of you that don't know, Kevin Holland, man, he got left at home at Christmas Day. He was left at home. Have you ever seen the movie Home Alone? That movie essentially explains why Kevin Holland is the way he is, why he has that attitude. He was left at home on Christmas Day. Kevin Home Alone Holland, the homie. Still the homie though. Now guys, here's the thing though. Sometimes the homie, he's got negative IQ points. Sometimes Kevin Holland, he just doesn't perform well. His wrestling defense has always been bad. But his striking offense, his stand up on the feet, it's always pretty good. He's got that long 1-2. Never forget that 1-2 he connected with Buckley. And before he connected with that 1-2, he told Buckley that he's got a bogey. And he was like, yo, wipe your nose, son. And then Buckley wiped his nose and yeah, he got dusted. Hey, that's the homie for you. That's the homie, man. He will talk to the opponent. He wants to play games with the opponent, even whilst you're having a scrap. You know, you get left at home on Christmas Day. You become like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes the homie, his wrestling defense, his inability to keep the fight on the feet, it's there to see. But if the matchup stays on the feet, he's good to go. Now, here's the thing. Vicente Luque's taken so much damage in his career. And that's a problem. It's a problem because there's only so many wars you can be in before you're unable to really take that damage. And I do feel like Vicente Luque, he's been in too many wars. He's been in too many, man. I think if the homie Kevin Holland finds his chin with a long 1-2 and sets him down, I do believe Kevin Holland can win this fight. But if Vicente Luque gets a takedown, and if Vicente Luque starts to lock up a Darce choke, it's fight done. It's fight done because Vicente Luque has a phenomenal Darce choke. One of the best Darce chokes in the UFC. But if the homie home alone, Kevin Holland, stays upright, stays on the feet, I do believe his 1-2 boxing combination, that long 1-2, it can find the chin and it can be money. So I'm going to take the homie, Kevin Holland, to win this fight via KO TKO. I think he stops Vicente Luque. Next matchup, we've got Mario Bautista taking on Patchy Mix. And this is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a very decent fight. Now, Patchy Mix, he's a submission specialist. He's super experienced. His record is 20-1. That's a phenomenal record. His striking's good. His grappling's good. He's a very intelligent fighter. And on the flip side, I think Mario Bautista, he's extremely well-rounded. Obviously, the fans at the moment, they dislike Mario Bautista. But I don't really understand the dislike for Mario. I don't understand it. He pushed Jose Aldo against the fence. I don't really understand why people are acting like that's the first time that's happened. Like, oh my God, he pushed him against the fence and held him against the fence. Can you believe it? It's very believable. It happens every single card. Now, Mario Bautista, he's not going to be able to push Patchy Mix against the fence because Patchy Mix, he's not an old man like Jose Aldo. And he's also a grappler. He's very good in those grappling positions, unlike Jose Aldo. So I think Mario Bautista in this fight, he's going to attempt some nice striking techniques. He's going to attempt to box with Patchy Mix. But I feel that if Mario Bautista pushes forward and overextends, there's going to be some well-timed knees from Patchy Mix waiting for Mario Bautista if he overextends and gets too aggressive. There's also some nice kicks on the side of Patchy Mix. So if the fight stays nice and technical, I think Patchy Mix is going to say to Mario, look, if you want a technical striking contest, we can do that. If you want the fight to be aggressive, like a barn burner, we can do that. If you want the fight to be fought at distance, we can do that. I think Patchy Mix is going to be ready for any type of fight against Mario. Obviously, Patchy Mix wants the back of Mario. Obviously, Patchy Mix wants to attack his neck. But that's a perfect scenario for Patchy. He doesn't really need the fight to be perfect, though, to win against Mario. And I basically see Patchy being just a little bit too good for someone like Mario Bautista. But I'll say this. If Patchy Mix wins, and I think he will, that's my pick, I look forward to seeing Mario regroup. I look forward to seeing Mario starting a new win streak because I've enjoyed his current win streak over the years. And I'm definitely not a Mario Bautista hater. I know most people are. It's popular to dislike Mario Bautista. But guys, for me, I'm a fan of Mario Bautista. I'm a fan. That's an unpopular thing to say. But I don't care. I don't care. Everyone gets held against the fence. There's so many fights we can watch where someone pushes someone against the fence and the ref's like, you've got to work. You've got to work. But for Mario Bautista, suddenly he's the guy to be the scapegoat of pushing someone against the fence. I don't understand. I don't get it. So I'm a fan of Mario. I think he's very well-rounded. He's a good boxer, good grappler, good wrestler, good cardio, good power. He's very well-rounded. But I do think Patchy Mix is just a little bit too good. He's a little bit too technical for Mario Bautista. The submissions, the knees, the kicks, the IQ, the patience, the composure, the experience. I think he's too good for Mario. And like I say, if Mario loses, I look forward to seeing him rebuild. Next matchup, we've got KG, Kelvin Gastelum, taking on Joe Pyfer. And my next prediction has to be Joe Pyfer. And the reason why I'm picking Joe Pyfer to win this matchup, KG's too hittable. He's just too hittable. He's been in too many wars. He's a veteran of the game, but he's past his prime. And he also doesn't take his weight seriously. I just think he's light work for someone that's so locked in as Joe Pyfer. And Joe Pyfer has excellent boxing. He can be somewhat inactive in a fight, you know, with the low output, but he picks his moments to let his hands fly. And he's got serious fight-ending power. He's also a strong wrestler, a strong grappler, a lifelong jiu-jitsu player, a black belt on the ground. So how does KG win this fight? He's outmatched in punching power. He's outmatched in physical size. He's outmatched on the ground. I don't think KG's going to win this fight. I think this is a very, very tough fight for KG. So my prediction has to be Joe Pyfer. but I don't see Joe Pyfer stopping KG. I don't see Joe Pyfer stopping the veteran, because as we know, KG's built different when it comes to toughness. He's Mexican tough. So my prediction is going to be Joe Pyfer, but there's no stoppage in my opinion. If he stops KG, that's a statement. And if KG can win this fight, I'd be very, very impressed. My prediction has to be Joe Pyfer. I think he gets it done on points. That's the pick. Next matchup, we've got the co-main event. We've got Juliana Pena, the champion, taking on the challenger, Kayla Harrison. Guys, let's be real. Let's be real, man. This is an easy matchup for Kayla Harrison. Or should I say, it's an easy matchup until or unless she gets tired. Kayla Harrison has amazing judo. She has amazing wrestling. She's insanely strong. She's a mauler on the ground. She has an amazing ground game, amazing ground and pound. She's got fantastic submissions. How does Juliana Pena survive against such a beast? But guys, I will say, Juliana Pena loves being the underdog. She loves having the odds stacked against her. She loves playing that underdog role, and she's certainly a massive underdog in this fight. But can she survive for 10 minutes? Can she survive round 1? Can she survive round 2? And if she does survive round 1 and round 2, does Kayla Harrison start to slow down? Because guys, that's the only way Juliana Pena is going to win this fight in my opinion. Now, assuming Kayla Harrison isn't going to use 80% of her energy in the first 10 minutes, if she doesn't get tired past round 2, then how does Juliana Pena win? How does she win, man? You need Kayla Harrison to slow down. If she starts to slow down, that jab of Juliana Pena is going to start to land. Then she'll start to stick the 2 behind the jab. Now Kayla Harrison starts to panic wrestle. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that before with Amanda Nunes. But guys, my prediction has to be Kayla Harrison and Nu. I think she's going to submit Juliana Pena. I think Juliana Pena, man, she's getting dusted. Next matchup, we've got Merab Dvalishvili taking on Sean O'Malley. And this is going to be a rematch for the bantamweight title, as you guys know. Now, in the first matchup, I took Sean O'Malley to win the fight. And I've got to be real. I've got to be honest. Sean O'Malley got dominated in that fight. Merab put on a masterclass. Now, you could say, well, Sean O'Malley had the hip injury and it played into the fight. And that's true. That is true. But, man, just looking at the fight, Merab dusted him. He dominated him. And, guys, I'll say this. I don't see Sean O'Malley performing in the same way. I do expect an improvement from Sean O'Malley. However, guys, even if O'Malley does better this time round, and he should, we have to admit that Merab Dvalishvili, his pace is insane. His infinite cardio is insane. The wrestling, the grappling, the non-stop pressure, the non-stop work of Merab Dvalishvili. It's going to be a challenge once again for the former champion, Sean O'Malley. So guys, looking at the first fight and asking myself, how can Sean O'Malley possibly win a rematch against the Georgian machine? The only way I see him winning is landing a perfect knee as Merab's going for a takedown, or landing a liver kick, which he did land in round 5, or landing a head kick. He's basically got to send Merab to Shadow City. He's basically got to shut the lights off on Merab Dvalishvili if you're going to win this fight, or simply defend takedowns. Simply defend the takedowns of Merab. If you can stay on the feet for all 5 rounds or 4 rounds, that's a good chance, man. For Sean O'Malley, just staying on the feet and kickboxing with Merab, he gives himself a very good chance if he can do that. And guys, in my opinion, Merab Dvalishvili, he's the greatest bantamweight of all time. He is the GOAT of the bantamweight division. He's got the infinite cardio glitch. His cardio, man, his infinite cardio. I've never seen anything like it. Guys, all week I've been picking Merab to win this fight, but I'm changing my prediction. I'm picking Sean O'Malley to win the rematch. I think Sean O'Malley, the big underdog, wins a razor-close split decision. It all comes down to, can Sean O'Malley defend enough takedowns to get ahead on the judges' scorecards? I'm going to say he just about does enough to win 2 judges' scorecards for a razor-close split decision. I'm taking the big underdog in the rematch. I know Merab is so overpowered. I know he's the bantamweight GOAT. I know he's got infinite cardio, amazing work ethic, amazing wrestling. He's a beast. But I think Sean O'Malley, man, if he defends enough takedowns to just get ahead, I think he can just about do enough. So I'm going to pick the big underdog, Sean O'Malley, in the rematch. As always, guys, drop down your main event, your co-main event, your doubles, your straight bets, your parlays, your money city plays. Drop all that stuff in the comment section below. Keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Peace.